Hello YouTube, I am Riku's Black Bandit, also known as Cyax. This video is a video about con and cosplay pet peeves. I was tagged by my friend Kadaj1989, and my buddy tidusxseymour also told me that I should do this. So here we go. These are my convention and cosplay pet peeves. Alright, so I'm gonna start with my, actual convention pet peeves. Um, just because it's a little easier. One of the things that I really hate is disregard for the elevators. Everybody needs the elevators, and there are con-goers who will disobey weight limits or will get on elevators to go between 2 or 3 floors when there are stairs or escalators that are faster and not as crowded. At Youmacon, big, my kind of home convention, if you will, there are 12 elevators that are supposed to go up to the high-rise rooms in the hotel between, 9 and 70, and there's, a split in the middle, but the con itself is on floors 3, 4, and 5, and 1 and 2, kinda. There are escalators and stairs between all of those levels. There is no reason for someone to get on an elevator to go between 3 and 4, especially if they can walk. If you're in a big, massive cosplay and you cannot get it down the escalator without falling and breaking your neck, fine, take the elevator. And then the other big problem with elevators is everybody wants to get on to go up to their rooms. But like I said, they're on 3, 4, and 5. And people that are getting on at floor 3 want to go to their rooms. People getting on at 4 want to go to their rooms. And people getting on at 5 want to go to their rooms. So there's a lot of congestion all the time because there's no organization to that sort of transport system. The other big thing with elevators is, like I said, the disregard that people have for them. People will pile on way too many people and then ignore the buzzer that says there's too many people because they're either too lazy to get off or they're just going to complain. Elevators are sensitive to the weight. They can only lift so much. And they break, and then the line gets worse, the congestion gets worse. So if everybody at conventions would just, stop breaking the elevators, that would take care of a lot of problems right there. Okay, and speaking of close quarters like elevators, con stench. People, your hotel room showers are there for a reason. And it's a pretty good reason. When you reek of death and you don't shower for 3 days, you run the risk of getting yourself and the people around you very sick. I came home from ASEN this year and got strep. At least I'm pretty sure it was strep. I got sick. Close quarters, a lot of sweat, a lot of bacteria. People are gonna get sick if you don't shower. And no matter how many times con staff, con volunteers, con goers seem to repeat this, there's always a good portion that just decide showering is not for them and it's not important. But please, for your health and for the health of those around you, shower. Another thing that'd be kind of irritating, especially if you're not a big, physical contact person, is glomps, or hug lines. If you really like someone's cosplay, ask them if you can hug them. Ask. You don't just walk up and hug someone unless you know them. You also don't pick up people, put them over your shoulder, and, like, carry them away. I don't care how funny you think it is, you're gonna freak out somebody's friends. That actually happened to me. A friend of mine was in a hug line with me, and somebody literally just picked her up over his shoulder and started to walk away. I had her on a collar and leash at the time, so she was okay, and they didn't get far, but the guy literally just was gonna walk away with her. But anyway, hug lines and glomps are kind of a minor deal, as long as they're done in moderation and nobody gets hurt. You just have to think before you do it. It's just sort of a common sense thing. But that brings us to creepers. I have a list here. Creepers are those people who will pick up congoers and try to walk away with them, take them away. They'll follow around people and not leave them alone for hours. It's not right. At a lot of cons, most of the people there are under 21. That's why a lot of cons don't allow public drunkenness, because most of the members aren't 21. It's not cool to be following around someone that's way younger than you. It's just not. It's inexcusable, and just because it's a change of setting doesn't mean you should be able to get away with it. Creeping is wrong. Stop creeping. Another irritating con goer is the skankety skank. I actually have it written down here as skankety skank. As the name implies, it's somebody who dresses way too provocatively, especially for their age in a lot of situations, and just is trying to get the wrong kind of attention. They can be very, very irritating people to run across, and they're not, it's not appropriate. It's very irritating, especially if you're an attention whore and you're trying to show someone around and you keep getting stopped by people that you know or people that you've screwed in the past. And I don't mean screwed over or something, I mean physically horizontal tango. But it can be a very bad experience for someone that you're with. You have to consider the people that you're there with, because you're there to have a good time with your friends, not try to get laid. And then, kind of on the opposite of the attention whore, is the clingy person. This can be a friend that you take with you, or a significant other, more often than not, that won't let you, see other people at the con, get attention from other people, because they're too busy almost controlling what you do. If you're that person, you're smothering the person you're with. You're making it very difficult for them to have a good time. And it's not fair, especially because cons aren't cheap. So, yeah, that's pretty much the opposite of the attention whore, because the attention whore tries to draw attention to themselves, and the clingy person tries to pretty much keep attention away from the person that they're there with. Yeah, so that'll do it for my specific convention pet peeves.